One to Lean On, and that was by Steve Brown. There's not been a car Groan for a while, so let's have it. This happened months ago, but I've held off until now. I noticed one of my front tyres going flat, so I pumped it up, and it seemed okay for a couple of weeks. It then lost some pressure again, and I pumped it up, but over time lost more pressure, so I thought, okay, I've got more than the slow puncher here. Now, Monday evening is when I go shopping, and I went out to my car earlier than normal, knowing there would be a tyre to pump up, and this time it was totally flat. Oh dear, clearly more than the slow puncher. I had to move the car slightly to access the tyre. Not advisable, I know, but I had to get to it. It wouldn't pump up at all now. Right, so I've done this several times before. In brief, make sure the handbrake is on tight, then a case of slightly loosening off the tyre, jacking up the vehicle, removing said tyre and putting the spare on. I got the old one off and couldn't see anything wrong with it. It was only about 6 months old and had done a couple of 100 miles tops. No puncture then, so I deduced a valve issue. The saga continued because of the spare. Oh, this thing drives you insane. The principle of the design is alright, it's just the shonky parts and the general faff of it. I've got a people mover and the spare is kept at the back of the vehicle but on the underside, so in a fairly vulnerable position. But that's where it is and there's no other place you could really put it. To access it, you've got to lower it to the ground using a wheel wrench. Firstly, you can't do this if the back of the vehicle is full, so I had to clear some stuff out because you need to put the wrench on a bolt and turn it anti-clockwise. This then lowers the tyre and you take it off the metal holding cable, but this almost never works. The mechanism for this uses some metal parts but also a load of plastic ones, and these always fail. I know this because I've experienced it across a few people movers and I'm already on my second mechanism, or was at the time. In this instance, the tyre lowered by 8 inches or so, and you need to get this thing all the way down to the ground or as near as you can, otherwise you're not getting it out. I kept turning the bolt and got the infuriating click of death where you think the tyre is lowering but it gets stuck and there's nothing you can do. I tried raising it again, but that no longer worked and pulling on it didn't help either. I was starting to run out of options here as I had one tyre that was totally flat and another that was stuck on the underside of the car. I wasn't going shopping after all. Something had to be done so I could at least get the car off the jack for the night because it was on the side of the road. What did I do as a temporary solution? Was there one? Did I somehow gain access to the spare tyre? This story is far from over and will continue next week with part 2 of tyre troubles.